Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm going to give a speech about the support for uneducated students. If you took a random person off the street and asked them if they thought that drinking and sex were problems in today's youth, within reason, most people would say yes. Students today face more pressures than we may even realize. But there are different groups out there that go around and would like to speak to these students about saying no and standing up to these peer pressures. One group specifically is CCDC, located up in Norfolk, Nebraska. CCDC stands for Community Character Development Coalition. But a few years ago, the funding for this program was cut by the government, therefore limiting them from going around speaking to students. What I find funny is that the U.S. will provide a lot of money to advertise alcohol and pornography and stuff like that, when we really should be spending that money on preventing that and helping groups such as CCDC continue to go around speaking to students about it. So to begin, I will present a few facts or statistics about alcohol, one of the main problems students face today. According to the Red Cross, a statistic on alcohol shows that 7.2 million adolescents drank at least once in this past year. In addition to that, 4 out of 10 admitted to having their first drink before the age of 15, which meant that the average age for drinking was about 15.9 years of age, which is younger than the legal driver. Can you imagine that? And although CCDC can't prevent all of these students from drinking, they aim to, show the side effects and how the negative effects that alcohol will give to you. And even if they can make a difference in one person, then, their job is done. Another problem along with alcohol is sex. One anonymous 16-year-old wrote a story about how far her and her boyfriend had gone when in their relationship. She regretted giving in to her boyfriend and felt violated and very guilty about it. So, according to another survey, by the age of 19, 70% of teenagers have engaged in sexual intercourse. But on the plus side, decrease in sexual activity has been credited to these prevention programs such as CCDC, and the birth rates have decreased by nearly a third. So now that I've stated the main problems, I'm going to give more information about CCDC and such programs, which would be a good solution to this. So although teenagers feel pressured into doing all of this, they have to realize that they have value, and if they just stand up and say no, that these problems can be solved. And that's what CCDC aims to do. CCDC is ran by older adults who want to make a difference in students. So they made this youth mentor program. I was a youth mentor up there, and personally I felt that students listen more when another student is talking to them, because they realize, oh hey, I'm not the only one that doesn't want to, participate in drinking and premarital sex and stuff. So while I was a mentor, we gave out surveys, and after one, a student actually wrote, I finally realized that I have value and I don't have to give into peer pressure. Because of you guys, I have found a group of friends that respect me and my choices. So even hearing one person's success story and how they remove themselves from a bad situation really gives hope. So now that I've told you a little bit about the solution, I just want you to realize that there are several other groups out there. And even in college, there's groups. Here in Lincoln, we had a group called Husker Choices, which wanted to promote safe drinking, not necessarily cutting drinking out completely, because we all know underage students drink, but just to do it safely and giving tips on how to drink it safely. So CCDC is a wonderful program, along with many other programs that try and reduce today's pressures of drinking and sex and all of that stuff. CCDC members or mentors are just normal youth that go out there and students, and they want to, refrain from alcohol use and remain abstinent. The funding for CCDC should not be cut. They have done nothing but help these teenagers and make good choices for their future and would benefit themselves and our country. Is it worth losing teenagers to alcohol-related deaths or to hand out cash to mothers who had accidentally gotten pregnant? The United States government needs to realize that without these groups such as CCDC and others, more and more money will be spent on alcohol advertisements and teen pregnancy advertisements and pornography. I mean, there's shows like the MTV 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom that are just, I know they're trying to show the hardships of it, but in some ways other students are looking at it like, oh, I can become famous if I have a child. So by funding programs such as CCDC, you eliminate the students who would want to get pregnant so they can get money and be on MTV. So I feel like the U.S. needs to use this money to provide education to our youth and prevent activities such as drinking and sex instead of promoting them. Thank you.